an early show exclusive for you. Last week, Clay Duke riveted the nation when he took over a school board meeting, fired shots at the members, then killed himself after a security officer shot him. The troubled gunman's wife, Rebecca Duke, sat down with Erica Hill to talk about the tragic incident that continues to haunt her.
Please no, please.
9 days ago, Clay Duke opened fire on the Panama City School Board, terrorizing his 6 hostages and captivating a nation with the scene that was captured on video. Of the many people who watched that tape in utter shock, Duke's widow, Rebecca.
I had to watch it because I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. And I've watched it, and I've watched it. I see what everyone else sees too, the shock, the horror.
For Rebecca, the scene is still unimaginable. She says her husband of more than a decade was a gentle, compassionate man with a great sense of humor.
He always wanted to do the right thing and help people. He's a family man.
He was not a violent man to you?
No, absolutely not.
In the months leading up to the shooting, Duke faced mounting pressures. According to his former attorney, he had trouble keeping a job and couldn't afford his medication for bipolar disorder. Rebecca had also been laid off from her job with the Panama City schools.
Your unemployment was to run out that week. Clay was having a hard time, like so many Americans right now, finding a job. Had you two discussed at all what was going to happen next, knowing that some of the finances that were coming in were coming to an end?
I said, we just get through, Christmas and it'll all work out somehow. It was, I guess, just too much, I reckon, for everybody. I mean, just like everyone's struggling right now. It's really a hard time.
Rebecca says her husband's frustration with society was reaching a breaking point.
Our benefits have run out. We're broke. You see what I'm saying?
Time after time after time, we've asked for help, and you just slam the door in our face.
It must have been difficult for you, and as people speculate about what may have been going through his mind, what do you think happened that day?
Honestly, I don't know what triggered it that day. And that's going to be a question I'm going to be asking myself for the rest of my life.
What we do know is that after pulling out his gun, Clay Duke announced he was prepared to die.
I've got a feeling that what you want is the cops to come in and kill you because you're mad, because you said you're going to die in that.
Duke then aimed his gun at the school board.
Please don't. Please don't.
And started firing shots at close range. But he didn't hit anyone. And Rebecca says that was no accident.
He was in the Air Force. He was, he did 2 tours, 2 separate different tours, and he was trained in guns, and he was a good shot.
Do you believe that he was trying to hit anyone with those bullets?
He was not trying to hit anybody. He was just trying, in my opinion, he wanted to scare them. He wanted them to get, to get down. I mean, just from his body language alone, he honestly didn't want to hurt, anybody.
So I came to this position and I fired another shot.
Just seconds after Duke fired, security guard Mike Jones stormed into the room.
I was firing shots on the ground like this.
Jones hit Duke 3 times in the back. Then, lying on the floor wounded, Duke turned the gun on himself, taking his own life.
I feel for everyone there at the school board. I feel for, Mike Jones. And that's why I actually came out and spoke, because I felt I needed Mike, of all people, to know how I felt.
How is the rest of your family and the rest of Clay's family holding up right now?
They're overwhelmed and devastated as well, and they're trying to cope the best way that they can. The reason I agreed to do this is to give my husband and his family some dignity and respect, because this was an honorable man, and he deserves it because he was a man and a father, a grandfather, a son, and a husband before he was a gunman.
Understandably relieved that no one was hurt, Rebecca Duke says she will spend the rest of her life trying to understand what happened and will never stop missing the Clay Duke she knew, the man who was her soulmate.
I am really numb. I feel that I died that day. To love someone and to get that kind of connection in life is very rare, and it is a gift from God. And that's why I'll cherish this, and that's why this is so hard for me. Because I feel my soul's been ripped out, and I don't know how to